Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm back with another match reaction and it's finished at St Mary's, Southampton 0, Swansea City 0. Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty resilient defensive performance, wasn't it? I think, we didn't really have many chances to go on and win it or anything. I think we only had a couple of shots on target. One of them was from a Kyle and Casey header towards the end as well, but I think, it was a different approach today from Sheehan. It did look at times, as if we were playing for the draw, but Southampton, well, St Mary's is a very tough place to go, as obviously we've seen previously. I remember going there on Boxing Day and losing 5-0, so that wasn't a very good trip, so it's definitely an improvement from that. But I think, despite how, defensive I think we were, I think it is also, a smart approach from Sheehan as well. We just come back off the international break where it's the start of a very, tough block of fixtures. I think it's 7 games in 21 days. So yes, it's a pretty smart approach, I think, from him. This is one of the tougher games we're going to have in those block of 7, obviously, other than the Man City game. But in terms of the league, it's probably one of the toughest ones within that run of 7 games. So it's a pretty smart thing to do, especially now when we've got back-to-back home games coming up against QPR and Norwich. If we can follow on from this with 6 points out of 6, next 2 home games, I think, obviously this point will mean a lot more. But obviously if we do drop points at home, it'll change the sort of meaning of this point that we've gained, I guess. But yeah, as I said, I think it's a smart approach, especially when we've got some really tough games coming up. So I think, yeah, it was a bit of a different approach from Sheehan, but I can certainly see why we were a bit more defensive at times, especially against a side like Southampton, and we have been caught up defensively a few times late on, and we managed to overcome that today. I thought Vigouroux was excellent. We did get let off a few times. We had a few scares. They're a good side, as I said, but I think, yeah, on the whole, it's definitely a good point for us. Shame we couldn't try and nick it at the end, or try and get a goal or two early on, which we didn't really manage to create much. But I think the overall performance was pretty good, in all fairness. So yeah, another clean sheet, point on the road. You can't really complain too much. In terms of the player ratings then, so Vigouroux, I'm going to give him an 8.5, clean sheet, made some excellent saves, kept us in the game at times. I thought he was really, really good, so I'll give him an 8.5. Josh Key, I'll give him a 6.5. I thought he was pretty good. Nothing extraordinary, but not a bad performance by any means, so I'll give him a 6.5. Timon, I'll also give him a 6.5. I thought he was pretty good as well. Not one of his best games of the season, but pretty average performance, well, above average, but yeah, didn't do anything wrong at all, and he's been great all season, but I just don't think today was one of his better games, but not a bad performance by any means. So yeah, I'll give him a 6.5. And then in centre backs then, Cabango and Burgess, I'll give them both 7s. I thought they were excellent today. Another clean sheet, and they're turning into really good partnerships, so hopefully they can continue that and try and get a few more clean sheets throughout the course of the season. And then in midfield then, Stamenic, Franco and Galbraith. I thought Galbraith was everywhere like he always is, so I'm going to give him a 7. Franco, similar again, he was pretty much everywhere like he always is, always trying to win the ball back whenever he does lose it, which isn't often that he does lose it, but when he does, he always tries and wins it back straight away, so I'll give him a 7. Stamenic, gonna give him a 7 as well. I thought he was really good. He's obviously a big presence in the midfield, which is what we need, and you can see it at times. He breaks up play, and yeah, he did really well today, so I'll give him a 7. Ronald, I thought he was quite quiet. I'll give him a 6. I don't really think he got involved in the game too much, but he's been good this season, so can't have too many complaints about that. Anusa, I thought again he was excellent. Running down the wing, very unlucky not to get a goal or an assist this season, but I think it's coming, so I'll give him a 7. And then Vipotnik up front, I'm going to give him a 6. I think obviously did have that goal scoring run towards the start of the season, but I think the last 3 now he's gone without a goal, but it's nothing to worry about. He just hasn't really had the service that he had at the beginning of the season. And then the subs then, Adam Ida came on first. I'll give him a 6, same as Vipotnik, same story, struggled to get a hold of the ball, so it's definitely not a problem with Vipotnik. It's just the way we approached the game today, maybe did struggle to get the striker involved, but yeah, I'll give him a 6. Yalkoué, I thought he was okay when he came on. I'll give him a 6.5. Same with Orm. I think I'll also give him a 6.5. Came on and it was a decent performance from both. Nothing extraordinary, but a pretty decent performance. So I'll give them both 6.5s. And then Kyle and Casey and Fulton came on towards the end, so I'll give them both a 6. Didn't have enough time to impact the game positively or negatively really, but I thought it was a solid performance for the last 5 or so minutes they were on. Kyle and Casey winning everything in the air, Fulton breaking up play, a few tactical fouls here and there. So yeah, I think it was okay from both of them. Sheehan then, I think I'm going to give him a 7. I think although it was defensive and we didn't look like we were trying to go and get and win in the game, as I said, we've got to look forward to this next 6 fixtures within this block of 7 that we've got in a short space of time, and I think it's tactical from him. And if we do go on now and get two wins from 2 at home, we'll look at this point and be like 7 points from 9 games, but obviously it is dependent on the points we do pick up in our next 2 games, because that will obviously depend on how we view this. But for now, I think tactically very good from Sheehan, so I'm going to give him a 7. Very tough place to come, and last time he came to St Mary's he lost 5-0, so yeah, it's definitely an improvement since then. And then finally, man of the match then, I think, our best player, and I think who I would give the man of the match to for the overall game as well, for both sides, is Lawrence Vigouroux, keeping a clean sheet. I gave him an 8.5 rating, I think. He was absolutely excellent. As I said, clean sheet, kept us in the game, a few really good saves, and he's been excellent all season. So yeah, I'll go with Vigouroux as my man of the match. But yeah, once again, massive thanks for watching this. I will be back on Tuesday night for my match preview ahead of QPR at home, so stay tuned and thanks for watching.